I am visiting an unmarked grave when I realize that I am being watched. The grave is not special. Another unmarked grave in a graveyard full of them. Someone who couldn't afford a gravestone in life, or who was an undesirable, who wouldn't be given a gravestone, even in death. I am not sure yet. I haven't had the chance to ask them before I was interrupted. The realization isn't anything that happens physically, just an unawareness that shifts into awareness. I take out my notebook to write my questions and what answers I am able to glean. How far are they? 30 meters and getting closer. Are they government? Yes. Did they call for help yet? No. Are they only going to observe? No. Are they going to try to hurt me? Yes. Will they succeed? There is no answer for that last question. Instead of trying to pry, I move on to another question. I learned a long time ago when my sources won't give an answer to one question, they may give an answer to another question. Sometimes the question can be spoken or thought, but I find that writing down the question is the most effective way for me to get my questions answered. A gift. Are they getting closer? Yes. My eyes flit around the graveyard. No people around as far as I can see. I am far from the roads or the main paths, so I know that I can be taken without anyone noticing. Not that there is any promise that even if others see it, that they will intervene. Is there anyone who would help me? I write in my notebook. The answer that my hand writes without me needing to tell it is succinct. The general and the officer. It's a reference to a story that I know, one that would appear like nonsense to anyone who is trying to read my notebook. During a time of war, an assassin dressed up in the uniform of his country's secret police. He then walked into the private quarters of the general, shooting him, and then leaving without being questioned by anyone, and with no one even trying to help the general. The country instilled such a sense of fear of the secret police and the government that they assumed that the leaders would just kill the general without cause and reason, and everyone was scared to question it in the slightest. Even though the assassin wasn't a member of the secret police, the fact that he wore the uniform of the secret police gave him unrestricted access to everything. Everyone was scared to ask, everyone was scared to fight, everyone was scared to try and help the person he killed. There was no way to tell the difference between an assassin and the secret police, and the people were more scared of angering their government than they were of an attack from the enemy. So applying this to this situation, were they assigned to find me here, or did they see me by chance? Chance. Local or foreign government? Local. Intention? Dead or alive means catch them dead. Catch alive means asking forgiveness is better than permission. My handwriting changes for that last answer. The writing is jagged, angry, and barely controlled. A new source, if I was to guess. It was my esteemed guest's own thoughts. Now I can feel a prickle between my shoulder blades. The calls of crickets and cicadas calm for a moment. My assailant is closer, but not quite close enough to reach me. They are evaluating if I am a threat, if I can run, or if I am armed in some way. A cool tingle in my left hand tells me that they are gripping the handle of a knife. They will make their move momentarily. Still, I keep writing in my notebook, my breathing calm, my heart slow, my palms dry, breath in and breath out. I channel the dread into the earth and soil before me. There is no time to feel panic now. I can panic when it is over. There are two outcomes here. Either my allies will keep their word and protect me, or they won't. Fear will change neither, so I simply let it flow away from me. Now the tingling in my hand spreads to my spine. This dread, this anticipation, this fear is not mine. They have heard the stories around me, both real and made up. They have their own stories that they tell about me to help ease their conscience. In this moment, before they make their move, they wonder how much of it is real and how much of it is fake. That is a fear I can use. You're wondering if all the stories you've heard about me are real? I say to the intruder. The grip tightens on the knife. I still don't look up from my notebook, but from the gasp that I heard tells me that I am right. It also helps me figure out what government branch they work for. Vigiles Urbani, I write in the notebook. Secret police of the Emperor. Free of petty restraints of society like justice, laws, and code of conduct. They also live in a worldview where they are an unstoppable force of good, with an enemy that is weak and vulnerable, but also that they were a vulnerable victim with an enemy with reach and conspiracy that has to be watched against at all times. A cognitive dissonance that can be taken advantage of. If they were just someone who was following orders, they wouldn't hesitate in their attack on me. I was fortunate in this regard that they are scared of me. That means even with no weapon, that I am not unarmed against them. The question you shouldn't be asking is what stories you've heard that are true, but what stories are out there about me that they don't want you to know, I tell them. I don't need to say who they are. A conspiracy-minded person like the Vigiles Urbani always has a big, scary them on their mind. It might be their superiors, or a shadowy cabal of criminals, demonic dealers who control the world, or something far more bigoted. But a good rule of storytelling is that what your audience imagines is scarier than anything you can say. I can feel the breathing quicken for my guest. They still haven't spoken, nor have they attacked yet. I glance up and observe the graveyard. There is a rabbit relaxing against a gravestone, legs kicked out, lying on her side, one ear flopped down, the other standing straight up. Near another grave, I can see the curling smoke from a cigar left in an ashtray in front of the grave. Then I noticed near yet another grave a circle of red and white mushrooms where the head of the body would be. They definitely weren't there a moment ago. My allies signaling to me that they are there, but that they are waiting to see what I do. You know that flutter in your heart, that twitch in your hand, the tingling in your spine, that cold sweat on your skin, the thoughts racing in your mind? They're telling you, run. You can still listen. You can run away. Tell your story of meeting the Seven Cities journalist and surviving. You can tell everyone that you made me run. You can tell them that the puddle of piss on the ground is mine and not yours. You can lie to your friends, leaders, and yourself. Tell yourself that you're a hero. Be a survivor. I tell them as I keep writing in my notebook. What's to stop me from just slitting your throat? You're not even looking at me, he says. He is trying to be brave, but his question is more for himself than for me. He has the knife in hand, and I am facing away from him. He is protected by the law and with no witnesses. This should be an easy kill for him, yet he is paralyzed by fear. You're right. I'm not facing you. I am unarmed. There are no people nearby who can intervene. You have the full protection of the government. your training, and your own righteous cause. Yet you are utterly terrified. I am not facing you. I have no fear. So what possible plan do I have for you? I ask him. The answer is written in my notebook. Judgment. If you surrender, I'll bring you in alive, he lies, trying to hope for that tiny bit of assurance that I won't fight back. No. I won't surrender. Your choices are simple. Walk away and live, or strike me and die, I tell him, the cold fear from him dripping into the unmarked grave that he is standing on, unaware of what he is feeding beneath him. He steps forward, his grip tight as he lifts his knife. The tingle in my back tells me where he is going to stab. The dread builds in me, but I keep focusing it beneath myself. I trust my allies, and they trust me as well. You are alone, he said as he took that final step forward, gripped tight as he stabs towards my back. I can feel the shift in the air and the shift in the ground beneath me. I still don't turn toward him. He rallied his courage to stab me. Normally, it comes easy to him, a moment of his strength against another's weakness. Except he doesn't feel that weakness in me, nor strength in him. But I honestly didn't think he would try to stab me. I thought he would walk away like so many others. The piercing sound of knife entering flesh ripples through the graveyard, louder than I expected, but with the sound, the tingling in my back disappears. Thank you, I write in my notebook. The response comes not in the notebook, nor as awareness that appears in my mind, but an inaudible hiss behind me. You're welcome, the voice said. The resident of the unmarked grave rose between me and the vigiles as they tried to stab me. Fed by fear and guided by a sense of justice that they didn't get in life, that they could now get in death. A quick consequence for an old transgression. I finally turn to face my assailant and my ally. The Vigiles Urbani is like many, a white man with a short haircut, dark sunglasses, a bulletproof vest beneath a hoodie, sweatpants with the seal of the Empire on it. The knife, which he grips with both hands, is a hunter's knife, favored by the wolves of Swamp City. If he wasn't working for the Vigiles, he probably would be an unpaid serial killer in Swamp City. Well, now he was a paid serial killer of the 7 cities. Not even worthy of a name. A nameless spook that is meant to haunt the cities. Now, just a nameless victim. My protector is half rotten. The ribcage is open like a hungry mouth. Their sternum is left behind in the grave. Their eyes are gray and sightless. Their flesh the same color as their bone. Formaldehyde dripping from their wound. The blood long since rotted away. The fingertips are gone, leaving bone splinters in the fingers. The teeth in the jaws are gone, leaving only the cotton of the mortician. Her face smashed by a large rock, obscuring her identity. Between the ribs of my protector lies another body, a much smaller one. It is little more than a mass of worms, but still it moves and crawls towards its father, finally getting to know its father's warmth that it never knew in life. The flesh of the baby dissolving into worms. The worms swimming in the flesh of the mother, extended beyond the wound, wrapping around the knife and then the hands that gripped the knife. The worms digging into the flesh of the living as easily as the dead. The Vigiles tried to let go, or try to grab me with his other hand, only to find that the worms will not let him let go of the knife. The worms keep digging and keep eating. Even the bleeding is staunched by the worms as they continue to devour his flesh. They won't let you die, not for a very long time. They will consume you, cell by cell, piece by piece, part by part. And if you do survive, I want you to do one thing for me, I tell him, removing his sunglasses and setting it on the ground. Behind his eyes, I can see the worms swimming in his eyes and consuming it greedily like jelly. One of the last things he sees is my face, expressionless and my voice direct. Tell them exactly what happened, I tell him as his dead ex-girlfriend begins to pull him into the soft soil, her grip and the grip of her child pulling his flesh into hers, melding together one last time in death. I watch as the living man is pulled in with her, and I continue to write, finally finished with the information I needed to give to the sexton. Here lies Miriam Chambers and Joshua Chambers, born and raised by love, murdered and desecrated by hate. Heroes in life, heroes in death, heroes evermore. Their memory a blessing to their dearest friends. I write in my notebook as I make my way to the sexton, but not before leaving an anonymous tip to the Vigiles Urbani about where they can find their ex-officer.